Dear students, in this video you are going to study about beta-lactam antibiotics. And if you want to know about the antibiotic history and introduction, you can see my other video on antibiotics. The links are given in description box. Let's start with beta-lactam antibiotics. Generally, beta-lactam antibiotics are the antibiotics that contain beta-lactam ring in their molecular structure. The examples of beta-lactam antibiotics are penicillin derivatives, which are also called as pinams, cephalosporin, they are also known as cefam derivatives, monobactam, carbapinams, and carbaacifam. So these all compounds are beta-lactam antibiotics. First, you should know what is antibiotics. Generally, antibiotics are the metabolic product of the microorganisms which can inhibit the growth of other microorganisms or they can kill the other microorganism. So here in the beta-lactam antibiotics, these antibiotics like penicillin, cephalosporin, impenem and clavulanate, as you can see their structure on screen, all these compounds have beta-lactam ring common. Here you can see the penicillin have beta-lactam ring, cephalosporin also have beta-lactam ring, impenem have also beta-lactam ring, and clavulanate derivatives also have beta-lactam ring. So here in all these four derivatives, the common thing is beta-lactam ring, which is indicated by a square. Here you can see the presence of nitrogen, double bond oxygen with NH and side group. Okay, so here you can see. So all these antibiotics are very important in the treatment of bacterial infection. So here we are going to study about beta-lactam antibiotics in that penicillin and cephalosporin. They are the main compounds in beta-lactam antibiotics. Basically on the screen you can see both the structure for penicillin and cephalosporin. So here three fundamental structures are common in both penicillin and cephalosporin. On the screen you can see the structure of penicillin also and cephalosporin also. So here in both the structure you can see the beta-lactam ring is common. So in all these two structures, three factors are common. Number one is fused beta-lactam structure. Number two is carboxylic acid group that should be a free. It should not be modified or bonded with some other molecule. And the third one is the substituted amino acid side chain. And this is the free carboxylic group and this is the amino acid side chain. In cephalosporin also you can see this is the beta-lactam ring. This is carboxylic group and this is the amino acid side chain. So these are the common things which are present in penicillin as well as cephalosporin. But one of the major difference between the penicillin and cephalosporin is the other ring which is present along with the beta-lactam ring. So here you can see in penicillin the thiazolidine ring is present. Here you can see this is the thiazolidine ring. While in cephalosporin, the dihydrothiazine ring is present. Here you can see this is the dihydrothiazine ring. So that is the basic difference between the penicillin and the cephalosporin. And here you can see with red color beta-lactamase ring enzyme was mentioned. Basically this beta-lactamase enzyme is the enzyme which open this beta-lactam chain. So once this ring is open, the compound will lost its antibacterial activity. Next, we will see the chemical classification of penicillin derivative. In that, first category is natural penicillin. So, natural penicillin means these are the penicillin derivatives which are obtained from the natural resources. So, example are benzyl penicillin, 2-pentenyl penicillin F, penicillin V, penicillin X, penicillin O, penicillin K, and pentyl penicillin. So here you can see all the naturally derived penicillin on the screen. You can see their structure and all the structures have beta-lactam ring. Next category is semi-synthetic penicillin. Generally, in semi-synthetic penicillin, the some portion is of natural penicillin and some portion has been modified. Especially the amino acyl side chains are modified or some new groups are introduced in this side chain. So here you can see the examples like ampicillin, amoxicillin, methicillin, neficillin, oxacillin and cloxacillin. So here you can see all their structure. These semi-synthetic penicillin generally you can say these are the mixture of natural and the chemically synthesized some of the derivatives. When they fuse together, the semi-synthetic penicillin derivatives will form. You can see their structures. Another examples of semi-synthetic penicillins are dicloxacillin, flucoxacillin, carbenicillin, ticaracillin, piperacillin, meslocillin and cicacillin. So here you can see so many examples for semi-synthetic penicillin, and in all these examples the one thing is common, the presence of beta-lactam ring. So because of that these all are included as beta-lactam antibiotics and they are derived from the natural obtained penicillin. Now here is the next classification that is based on the spectrum of activity, means on which bacteria these penicillin derivative they will work. So the first category is the penicillin derivative which are effective against the gram-positive bacteria, and the examples are benzyl penicillin, ampicillin and oxacillin. Next category is penicillin which are effective against the gram-negative bacteria. So here is first category is gram-positive bacteria. The second category is for gram-negative bacteria. Example is timoxilin. C. The third classification based on the broad spectrum penicillin. Generally, broad spectrum penicillin derivatives are those which act on much more number of bacteria. Like these derivatives, they will act on both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Examples are ampicillin, amoxicillin, and carbenicillin. Next category is penicillinase resistant penicillin derivative. Generally, these penicillin derivative they inhibit the penicillinase enzyme. This enzyme will open the beta-lactam ring and the compound will lose its antibiotic activity. So here these drugs like methicillin, neficillin, oxacillin, cloxacillin, dicloxacillin and flucoxacillin, these derivatives basically they are not affected by this penicillinase enzyme, so because of that they are more active. Next category is acid resistant penicillin. Example are benzathine penicillin, phenoxymethyl penicillin, phenoxyethyl penicillin and phenoxypropyl penicillin. Basically these penicillin derivatives they are acid resistant, means in the acidic environment they cannot be degraded. As we know that in our stomach the pH is acidic in nature, highly acidic. So because of that sometimes some of our drugs became inactive or they will metabolize easily or they will break down in the presence of acid. So these derivatives they don't get metabolized or they don't get break down, or we can say they don't break into the other derivatives or they are unaffected by the acidic pH. Next is the nomenclature part. Generally, the nomenclature of penicillin is done in two different systems. One is chemical abstract system, that is also known as CAS, and other is United States Pharmacopoeia system. So according to these two systems, the naming of the compound was done. In the first case of chemical abstract system, here you can see the numbering will start from the sulfur atom. Here you can see on the screen the sulfur has given first number and two dimethyl groups are assigned with second number, and the carboxylic group will get third number or 3 position, or the nitrogen atom will get 4. So here the counting will start from the sulfur. So according to this system, penicillin are numbered starting from the sulfur atom. So here you can see the sulfur atom get first position and the nitrogen atom get fourth position. So ultimately the nomenclature of this ring will be 6-acyl amino 2,2 dimethyl 1,3 carboxylic acid derivative. Here the spelling mistake for carboxylic acid. So this is our chemical abstract system. Now next is generally the United States pharmacopoeia is the reverse of chemical abstract system. Here the nitrogen will get first position. So here you can see the N will get first numbering, carboxylic will second, and dimethyl will get third, and the sulfur atom will get fourth position. So here you can see the difference between these two nomenclature. In first case, the sulfur will get first number. In the another case, the nitrogen will get a first number or first position. So the name of the this structure will, according to the United States Pharmacopoeia, is 4-thia-1-aza bicycloheptane. So according to the United States Pharmacopoeia, the name is 4-thia-1-aza bicycloheptane, and according to the chemical abstract system, the name is 6-acylamino 2,2-dimethyl 3-carboxylic acid. Next is chemistry of penicillin. So here it is explained, and here you can see on the screen the chemical structure of penicillin. As we already discussed that penicillin has three fundamental structure requirement. First is the fused beta-lactam and thiazolidine ring. Here you can see this is the beta-lactam ring and this is the thiazolidine ring. You can see on the screen. Next is this free carboxylic acid group. So here you can see OH group on the third position. So here we are following the chemical abstract system for nomenclature. And the third and the most important part is acyl amino side chain. Here NHR. So on the screen you can see the structure of penicillin. Now let's discuss the SAR, structure activity relationship of penicillin derivatives. So here you can see the first position where the sulfur atom is present on the thiazolidine ring. If any modification is there, like if sulfur is converted into sulfone derivative or sulfur oxide, then it improves the acid stability but decreases the activity of the compound. See, if we will do some modification on sulfur, then like sulfone or sulfur oxide formation, then this compound will have improved acid stability, means in acidic environment it will not degrade, but due to this modification the activity of the compound will get reduced. At second position, you can see the two methyl groups are present. These methyl groups are necessary for the biological activity. If any change is there or any substitution on this methyl group, then the biological activity, or we can say the antibiotic activity, will get decreased. Here you can see at the third position the carboxylic group is present. The carboxylic group is very necessary for the activity of thiazolidine ring. If we will change this carboxylic group into alcoholic or ester form, the antibiotic activity will get decreased. So the presence of free carboxylic group is very necessary in case of penicillin activity. Next, at position 4th, you can see the nitrogen atom is present, which is mandatory or we can say compulsory in this structure. If any modification or substitution will be there, then the activity of the compound will completely lost. Now let's see the fifth position where carbon and hydrogen is there. So this is basically chiral compound and where the stereochemistry factor work more. So here on the fifth position no substitution is allowed. Now on the seventh position the carbonyl beta-lactam ring is must. So here you can see on the seventh position the presence of this carbonyl carbon is necessary. Next point is at position 6th, the substitution are allowed on the side chain of the amide. So here you can see this is the 6th position where NHR group is present. So this R we can modify very easily, and on this position if we'll introduce certain other functional group, then we will get a number of derivatives. So here at this 6th position the modification can be permitted to obtain the new derivatives. Like example, an electron withdrawing group if added at this position will give compound a better acid stability, because this substitution will make amide oxygen less nucleophilic in nature. So here if we will introduce any electron withdrawing group, mostly electron withdrawing groups are halide compound. So if we will introduce any halide compound or any other electron withdrawing group, the activity will get increased. Next, if a bulky group is added close to the ring, will make the compound more resistant to the beta-lactamase ring, because the steric hindrance will provide the protection to the beta-lactam ring. So here, if in place of R or NHR, if any other bulkier group is placed, so it will protect this beta-lactam ring to get metabolized or to get breakdown from the beta-lactamase enzyme. Basically, if this beta-lactamase enzyme will act on this penicillin derivative, it will open this bond and the activity will completely lose. So if we will substitute any heavy molecule at this position, so ultimately it will cause a steric hindrance, means it will try to obstruct the activity of penicillinase enzyme, or it will try to prevent the molecule to get affected by the penicillinase enzyme. So basically, if any heavier molecule substitution at this sixth position, it will protect the penicillin ring. So here you can see the compilation of SAR. As I already told you, this is the fifth position where 3 chiral centers are required for the penicillin bioactivity. So if the chiral compound is there, the compound will be more active. And here you can see the position of R. The side chain can be replaced with different R group to obtain different compound with broad antibacterial spectrum. So here on this position of R, we can substitute different or number of functional groups to evaluate the activity. And the most important part is COH group. This free carboxylic group is mandatory for the activity of penicillin, because this free COH group will bind to the penicillin binding protein, and this penicillin binding protein will play a major role in the mechanism of action of penicillin. Later on you will see in other slides that how this penicillin derivative will work. But right now this carboxylic acid group is necessary for binding with penicillin binding protein. Here you can see the metabolism of penicillin derivative, how this penicillin get metabolized in the presence of different acidic or basic medium or at different pH. So here you can see this metabolism of penicillin is included in the PCI syllabus. So here you can see the penicillin is converted into penyloic acid or penicillamine or penylaldehyde or penicillinic acid or penaldic acid, and here you can say penicillate. So in the different medium and in the presence of enzyme also, and in the presence of different chemical, this penicillin will break into different derivatives. Next, this is the general method of synthesis of penicillin from 6-amino penicillinic acid. So here in the first case, how can we synthesize the 6-amino penicillinic acid? So here penicillin, which is obtained from the nature, will convert into 6-amino penicillinic acid in the presence of penicillin acylase and penicillin amidase. So these are the two enzymes which convert the penicillin into 6-amino penicillinic acid. So here next is the synthesis of penicillin G from 6-amino penicillinic acid. So this is 6-amino penicillinic acid and 2-phenyl acetyl chloride. They will fuse together and the one molecule of HCl will be liberated and they will fuse together to form penicillin G. So in examination you can write the synthesis of penicillin G directly. It is very easy to memorize because it is a single step. So here you can see the complete synthesis on screen. Next is synthesis of benzyl penicillin. So here penicillin G is synthesized. Now here benzyl penicillin. These two are very important synthesis. Here you can see the phthalic acid is used for the synthesis of benzyl penicillin. In some examination, they will ask about the initial substrate. So in that case, you can write the phthalic acid is used as an initial substrate for the synthesis of benzyl penicillin. So here you can see the dehydration process will takes place, means the removal of water molecule. Here COH group and H. So both OH and H from these carboxylic group will combine together and one water molecule will loss, and here you can see the phthalic anhydride formation will takes place. On amination it is converted into phthalimide and after that it is converted into potassium thalamide. So in this way you can write the synthesis of benzyl penicillin, although it is a very lengthy synthesis. But if you want to score good marks in medicinal chemistry, then obviously you have to write this complete synthesis. In case if you are not able to memorize this much long synthesis, then you can write from this step. Here it is fused with penicillinamide, so that at the end you will get the benzyl penicillin. Next, mechanism of action. See, mechanism of action of penicillin derivatives are generally bactericidal, means they will kill the microorganism. And how they will kill, as in the previous slide during the study of the structure of penicillin, when I said that PBP, this term was used, that is the penicillin binding protein. Basically our penicillin derivatives, they will bind with the penicillin binding protein, and after binding they will block this transpeptidase enzyme. Basically this transpeptidase enzyme help in the building of cell wall in the bacteria. So if this transpeptidase will be inhibited, the cross-linking in the cell wall will be prevented. So if the cross-linking will be prevented, the cell wall of the bacteria will become very weak. So because of that, the cell lysis will take place. Here you can see result, the bacterial cell will die from cell lysis, because if the cell wall will become weak, it can be easily break down. So here you can easily understand the mechanism of action of antibiotics. So these antibiotics, they will bind with penicillin binding protein, and they will inhibit the cross-linking of peptidoglycan. How they will inhibit the cross-linking of peptidoglycan? By inhibiting the peptidoglycan by inhibiting the transpeptidase enzyme. So basically this enzyme is responsible for cross-linking in the cell wall. So here the peptidoglycan cross-linking will be prevented. So because of that, the cell wall deficient bacteria will be there. The cell wall will not properly form. So ultimately it will burst, or it will undergo lysis, means breakdown, and the bactericidal effect will form. So here the major thing is that penicillin binding protein and the transpeptidase enzyme. Here you can see in the diagram that how this cell wall biosynthesis will takes place. So here you can see the red color ball. Here you can see bead. This bead chain is basically the peptide chain. Here the red color is indicated as alanine. So this alanine is generally bind with the lysine. Here you can see this is alanine, and this is the dark purple color with lysine. So basically when these two, they will cross link, it will provide the strength to the both side of the peptidoglycan layer. Here you can see these two are the peptidoglycan layer. Here you can see, and these are the peptide chain. Here these are the peptide chain. Here you can see in the figure. So here this red color indicated by alanine, and this dark purple color is lysine. So when this alanine and lysine, they will cross link with each other, they will give us strength. So what is the basic thing of the penicillin will do, that this penicillin derivatives, they will bind with penicillin binding protein, and once they will bind with penicillin binding protein, they will prevent this binding of alanine with this lysine. Here you can see this bond indicated by the yellow color, it will break. So once this bond will break, because that is the transpeptidase which has to form a bond between this alanine and the lysine. So once this protein, penicillin binding protein, it will prevent the bonding between this alanine and the lysine, then the cross linking will be inhibited in the cell wall, and because of that the cell wall became weak, and due to which the cell wall will break and the cell lysis will take place and the bacteria will die. So here also you can see this is the penicillin binding protein. In the diagram, you can easily understand that how these penicillin derivatives, they will work. Next is the therapeutic use. So here you can see on the screen these penicillin derivatives, they are used in several type of bacterial infection. Many are listed here. You can see pneumococcal infections are there, streptococcal infections are there, meningitis infection, meningococcal infection, gonococcal infection, syphilis, diphtheria, anthrax, and so many other infection it is used. So here you can see the list of infections against which this penicillin derivatives are used. Now let's see about the adverse effect. See, most of the drugs have certain adverse effect. So here in case of penicillin derivative, nausea, headache, stomach pain, sometimes diarrhea, vomiting, dizziness, heartburn, change in taste, headache, thrush, sometimes vaginal discharge also. Sometimes very rare seizures can appear, skin rashes, itching and peeling, and sometimes urination, less urination, sometimes fever, chill, body ache, flu symptoms are there. So these are the certain side effects, but it vary from patient to patient. It doesn't mean that every person will have these kind of adverse effects. Sometimes it may show in some particular patients. Now these are the brand name, these are the actually international brand name in which these penicillin derivatives are found. So you can see amoxil, beptocil, bicillin, cloxapen. So these are the certain brands which are available in the market where the penicillin are the major constituent of these drugs. So thank you for listening this video, and I hope you will like this video. If you had any query, please do write. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that this video is very helpful to the pharmacy student, especially the B.Pharm 6th semester student and PharmD 3rd year student, because in their syllabus this medicinal chemistry subject is there in which the beta lactam